Hi, sorry. New computer and had to hook up my webcam weird, so I wasn't sure if I had done this right. Anyway, hi, this is Jennifer. I don't know how long it's been since my last video, but I just thought I would come in and check in real quick. Let's do a really quick recap, I guess. I had gastric bypass surgery in March 2012, so I just had my 5-year surgery. Yay! I had a gastric bypass revision in June 2014 because the stoma, the opening that goes from, goes into your stomach. My doctor originally the first time didn't make that tight enough, and so it had expanded to the point where it looked like I hadn't even had surgery. My stomach stayed the right size, but the stoma was too big. So we had the revision. The revision was insane. It was, afterwards I was miserable for at least 2 months because it was so tight that I was even throwing up water. But I gave it time. I was miserable. I was cranky. I complained all the time. But after about 2 months, things kind of chilled out. So that was June 2014. And then in November 2015, I had my plastic surgery done where I had the excess skin removed. So I had my arm lift done and a tummy tuck done. So starting at my highest weight, let me put it this way. I stopped weighing myself at 323. I know I got higher than that. I know I did. But the highest recorded weight for myself is 323. I was 301 the day of my original surgery. I am 189 today. The lowest I've gotten to is 184, but thanks to the miracles of being a woman and having monthly cycles is that your weight is never fixed. It is never solid. It is never predictable. It's going to alternate by at least 5 pounds a month. So I'm 189 right now. My weight is also going up because my food, calorie-wise, is not as where it should be. 1,500 calories a day for me is a pretty sweet spot for me. It's either maintenance or I will sometimes lose eating that amount of food. And lately, for the past month or two, I have been well over 2,000. I've been between 2,000 and 2,800 calories every day. And I'm not burning that much. I'm tracking my food every day. I'm getting not all my fluids in. I'm getting about 64 ounces of water. You're supposed to be getting half your body weight in ounces. So if I'm 190, I should be getting about 95 ounces of water a day. And I get about 64. So I could do better with the water. But I'm tracking my food every day, even every little bite of something I'm tracking. I track my food, I track my fluids, and I track my exercise. I just walk. I don't do anything. Well, I do walk, and then starting the beginning of April, I've been doing like 3 minutes of arm exercises with free weights. It's just, I do 10 reps of like 5 different arm exercises, and then I do wall push-ups, and that's it. And that's all I'm going to do. And that's just to kind of tone a little bit. And that came at advice from my plastic surgeon, who told me there's no way your abs are going to get any tighter than they are. Do not do any kind of ab exercises. Just do some cardio, like the walking, and then do some free weights. So that's what I've been doing. But at any rate, when my calories were getting up very high, it was too cold to be going out for walks and stuff, so I wasn't really exercising. So I was eating way more than I was burning. So I'm sure that plays a role at my weight gain as well. But anyway, so I've gotten down to 184. Right now I'm at 189. As far as the scars are concerned, I'm going to add this in here while I'm thinking about it. Please do not think that because I started at 323 and I'm now at 189 that this was just a downward decline the entire time. Weight loss surgery changes your entire life, and that means, like in anybody's life, there are going to be loop-de-loops everywhere. Success is not, I seen that meme that said success is not this. Success is kind of like this, and eventually you get to where you're going. There were a lot of emotional breakdowns, a lot of mental breakdowns, a lot of hating food, a lot of loving food, a lot of overeating, a lot of undereating. I really had to find my place. There were medical issues that caused me to gain weight, medical issues that caused me to lose weight. But I'm at 189 now. My goal that was given to me by my bariatric surgeon, by my plastic surgeon, and by my medical doctor was 180. And it's always been 180. And that was a really good goal for me. I never thought I would get there. But I got down to 184 and I was so close. I think that probably by the end of the summer, I'll probably be back at 180 or to 180. 189 now. I don't sweat it. I don't worry about it too much. I pay attention to it only for health reasons. When you have weight loss surgery, obviously your weight is a concern and it's something that you pay attention to. But for me, I weigh myself once a week. It's usually on a Saturday or Sunday. It's the first thing I do after I go to the bathroom in the morning, and then whatever it is, that's my weight for the week. That's what I record my weight as. I also track my weight. My weight to me, though, is kind of a symptom. I don't see it as its own freestanding issue. I see it as an indicator to me of other issues that might be going on. Because right now I have so many other health concerns that I have to pay attention to because they are directly affecting my life, that weight is just something that indicates to me whether those conditions are getting better or worse. So, I mean, I'll be candid and just say I have bipolar disorder, I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and then I also have, I just was recently finally diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, which I have known I've had for over a decade. But I finally, after the recent round of blood work that I did, I got a new doctor. I had her do all new blood work, and the first thing she said to me was, you know, your levels are all good except for your vitamin D, your vitamin B and your magnesium. Add a magnesium supplement. We're going to give you B12 shots every month for 4 months. But outside of that, you are a picture of health, and the only thing I can think of is that you have chronic fatigue syndrome. That's the only thing that's left based on everything else. So, chronic fatigue syndrome, PCOS, and bipolar disorder. That means that there's days where I can't function. I mean, it directly affects your energy level. It affects, I mean, I get headaches, I get body aches. My body feels so heavy I can't function. I'm just so tired all the time. And I don't mean like, oh, I did a lot of work today. I mean, I wake up and I'm exhausted, and sleep does not make it better. It's kind of a dumb disease to have, chronic fatigue syndrome, only because between that and the bipolar, I don't know what is responsible for it, or if it's kind of like they both gang up on me some days. But there's days when I wake up and I'm just like, I can't do anything today. I only work part-time and I still can't even go to work. And I feel really bad on the days where I have to call off and I have to tell my boss, like, I'm sorry I can't come in, I don't feel well today. Because then the next day when I go in and I appear to be fine, it makes me look like I'm a big fat liar. And I'm not lying. Me saying I don't feel well doesn't mean that I have the flu. It means I don't feel well. That's what I don't feel well. I don't feel good. I don't feel healthy. I can't function. So it gets really bad some days. But at any rate, I don't remember where I was going with this, but so those three conditions weigh more heavily. Get the pun? Anyway, those three conditions are my main concern right now. So the weight is important to me, obviously, but I'm happy where I'm at, and that's that. So plastic surgery scars. I was one of those people who thought, okay, you're gonna have your plastic surgery, and 6 to 8 months out, you'll still be healing, and about a year out, you'll be totally healed, and your scars won't look that bad. You probably won't even see them anymore, and it's not the case. It's been a year and a half for me, and I will show you the scars, but I'm just telling you, I don't know if you can see them or not. The video quality appears to be somewhat grainy on here, so I'm apologize for that. I have to invest in a new camera. But I'll show you what they are. They don't bother me anymore. I don't even really pay attention to them. I don't know what they appear like to people who've never seen me before, or for people who see them and aren't familiar with why I have them. But to me, they're not an issue anymore. But at any rate, so I'll show you this arm. So I don't know if you can even really see it. It's right here. Maybe if I point it out, you can see it. So that's the arm. And then the elbow, okay, right here. And then it goes right here, and it goes up to here. This is the elbow that actually split open. That wasn't supposed to happen. I was 4 weeks post-op. I was laying on the couch, and like an idiot, I was using my elbows to flip my body over from side to side. And I had been doing that a lot lately, and I did that, and elbow split open. It was really gross. Tissue was coming out. It was disgusting. They could have done stitches. He asked me if I wanted to do stitches, but in order to do stitches, they would have had to open the wound even more, recut it open, and then seal it back together. And I just, at that point, I was so done with doctors and so done with stitches and so done with everything that I was just like, you know what, however it heals, it heals. And oddly enough, you can barely see it anymore, and it looks a lot better than this elbow does. You would think this is the one. Sorry, I can't really get a good picture. You'd think that this was the one that split open, but it's not. This arm is weird because I really, like right here, I don't have much sensation in terms of nerves. I don't really feel much. You can see the scars a little bit better on this one. A little bit, okay. Arm, those are my arms. Stomach, I left my sports bra on under my pajamas because I knew I was going to be making this video, and I didn't want to flash anybody, and I will try to go as far down to show you the cross, the T, cross scars. But I'm not giving you a show, so just be patient with me. Alright, so this is this scar actually goes up really high. It goes up to like here. So it goes all the way down. Your belly button, this is not where my belly button was when I had surgery. They move your belly button and then they just kind of make it a new belly button. It's weird. But like even around here, it's sensitive sometimes still. And then below, let me lower the camera a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to go down too low, I promise. Okay, so this is kind of the T scar. It went down like this and around. And it goes like here to here on my hips. And I still can't feel certain things on my hips, especially this hip. For whatever reason, my left side of my body, the nerves on my arm and my hips didn't come back like it should have. But they're not that bad. The incisions are not that bad, I don't think. So I'm not, excuse me, Trillian, that's my cat. So I'm not skinny, as you can see. I'm a little bit bloated today, so that's why it's poofing out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that too. But, so I'm not skinny by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a lot better than I was. I feel more confident. I think if anything that I got from the surgery, that's what I got from it, is that I'm a lot more confident than I was before. I feel better. Sorry about this. Hold on a second. I am so sorry. Okay, so my camera doesn't want to stay. Okay, so I feel a lot more confident in the clothes that I wear. I just feel like normal. Like I can feel like I can go. I literally can go to the store and pick out whatever shirt I want, and I don't have to think about how it's going to look. If I'm going to have too many rolls, or if my fat's going to show. Like, I don't have to think about that stuff anymore, and that's so weird to me. It's still weird. It's still, when I started this whole process, I was in a size 32 jeans and a 3X shirt, and I am now in a large, women's large. You know, women's shirts run smaller. A women's large and a man's large are two different sizes. But I'm in a women's large, and I wear size 14 jeans. So I almost can't go to Lane Bryant anymore. Isn't it every woman's like measuring stick is, do I have to go to Lane Bryant still? So yeah. The other thing I want to, now that I've said that, a lot of people I've talked to lately I don't know why this trend has suddenly come up in my life, but a lot of people have had this notion that if you have weight loss surgery, you're instantly going to become skinny. And that's not the case. Like a majority of people who have weight loss surgery are still technically overweight. It's been 5 years. I'm grateful and blessed that I haven't regained. I started to regain at one point, and then they put me on metformin for the PCOS, because part of having PCOS is you're insulin resistant, and nobody had told me that before. Metformin is typically given to people who have diabetes. Being insulin resistant is not the same thing as having diabetes, but it does help with your insulin, and not everybody loses weight on the metformin. It's kind of like a 50-50 shot, but thank God or the universe or whatever is in charge, I finally landed on the right side of medicine this time, and a medication actually caused me to lose weight as opposed to gain. So yeah, so I lost some weight because of the metformin. But I'm sorry, my mind is like, I can't think straight lately, and my memory has been really, really bad. That's partially because of the vitamin B deficiency, and which I did have a B12 shot, and it lasted like 3 days. So that tells you how bad my B vitamin levels are. And this is, I guess, this is the other thing while I'm on it. I have a pill box. I am 37 years old, and I have a pill box because I take like 8 pills in the morning and about 7 pills at night. 2 of them are actual medications. The rest of them are all pills and supplements. One of them are actually a prenatal vitamin because prenatal vitamins are more potent. But I'm still deficient in my vitamin B and in my magnesium. So I just added a magnesium supplement. I'm supposed to be doing B12 shots once a month for 4 months and then get retested. But like I said, the B12 shot lasted like 3 or 4 days. So I don't know. I gotta talk to her about what to do with that. All right. Well, we're at 16 minutes right now, so I guess I'll just say I'm in a good place. Besides the medical conditions that I have that are absolutely draining me of everything I could possibly give to the world. Rules-wise, as far as like the bypass surgery, are there things that I still have to do to maintain, or that I had to do in the beginning that I still have to do today? Absolutely. Obviously I drink through a straw. Sorry. I stopped following that rule that said you're not supposed to do that about a year after surgery. So I drink out of straw, but I do not drink with my meals. I will not drink with my meals. All I drink is tea, water, which for whatever reason I'm really picky with the water that I'll drink. I can only really drink Aquafina, Dasani, or Smart Water. And supposedly all the bottled waters are the same, but there are some bottled waters that literally make me nauseous. Like, I can't drink them. So I only drink those 3. When I go out to eat at a restaurant, whatever, I drink water. Sometimes I'll have tea, but usually it's water. And then lately, last week, I started having this craving for grape Kool-Aid. I don't know why, grape Kool-Aid, but I got Crystal Light instead. And it is insanely sweet. I checked that thing 1,000 times. Like, are you sure this does not have sugar in it? But it doesn't, and it was insanely sweet to be Crystal Light. But, so that's that. I still do, if you know me in person or you know me on Facebook, you know that I have this affliction and addiction to frozen Cokes. Sometimes they're called ices, sometimes they're called Slurpees. I don't know what they're called where you are, but they're frozen Cokes. They're better than pop in that they're not carbonated and they're not as sweet, but it's still pop. When I started the metformin kind of took away a lot of my cravings, and I just didn't want them anymore. And I didn't have them for about 6 months. And I'm sure that played a role in some of the weight that I lost as well. But now I'm back to having them every day. I will not drink more than 22 ounces. Usually I can't even drink a whole one anymore. I can drink about half. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But I really do want to get off drinking those again because there's no reason to drink them. It's just a bad addiction that I have. I'm sure it's the sugar and the caffeine. But pop's addictive. And this is essentially pop, but just a little different, I guess. So, what else? Food-wise, I never really changed my eating habits in terms of what food choices I make. I still eat nothing but fast food and junk food, sweets. That's all I eat. I tried eating a couple bananas last week. I had one out of a whole bunch. I still have apples in my fridge that I haven't eaten. I just don't eat fruits and veggies. I never have. I don't like them. And I have a really bad food issue where I'm a really picky eater, and I actually will have anxiety attacks if you try to make me try new foods. Like, it's bad. So, I never really changed my eating habits because of that. So, I've lost all this weight, and I am not, let me say this, I am not defending or promoting my eating habits because they're terrible. Please listen to what your doctor tells you, and if you have to change your eating habits, please change your eating habits. I'm just saying for me, I never changed them. So, What I did change, however, was my portion sizes, how much I would eat in a day overall, not just in one sitting, but overall in a day. And that dramatically decreases your calorie intake anyway. There are certain foods I won't eat. There are a lot of bread I just don't want to eat. Like, bread just seems like bread takes up a lot of room. Like, if I have a sandwich and I eat it with bread, I'm getting 2, maybe 3 bites, because it's just, the bread's too heavy. It sits in my stomach. It just sits there. I mean, all of our food just sits there because our stomachs don't digest food anymore, but bread's pointless. So I try to stay away from bread as much as possible. If there are days I want it, I let myself have it. I don't ever tell myself no to anything. My body tells me exactly what to eat, exactly what not to eat, when to stop eating, when I may need to eat more, when to exercise, how much exercise, when I need to get my blood work done, blah, blah, blah. My body tells me everything. And if you get nothing more out of surgery, please get out of it that you become in tune with your body. Your body tells you everything. Everything. I am so in tune with my body. I am so receptive and sensitive to everything it has to say and do. I love that part of surgery. So yeah, so portion sizes are still relatively small. I can eat a lot more in a day though, which is the problem, and that's where I'm finding that I'm eating a lot more calories, is because I can eat a lot more in a day. I still chew my food, each bite, about 50 to 70 times. So every time I take a bite of food, I have to chew it at least 50 times. I have to get it down so small that it's almost like puree. I mean, way more than puree. I don't drink with my meals. I cannot eat a lot of sugary things at one time, or a lot of sugary and carb type things at a time. I do still get dumping syndrome pretty bad. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think of like what other rules we had that we're supposed to follow. That whole 5-day pouch test thing is a bunch of bullshit. I don't know who came up with that nonsense or why people think the reason you're on that diet when you first have surgery is not for your stomach. It's because you just had surgery and you're healing. You're being sensitive to your incisions. That's why you're on that diet. When you go liquid to puree to soft foods, that's to introduce your body and its reproductive parts now slowly, because you just rearranged everything. You just cut it open and it's healing. That's why you're on that diet. It's not because your stomach is small. It's not why. It's because you're healing and you're introducing your body to the new way of being. So the 5-day pouch test, people are like, oh, I swear to God, it works. That is total bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. Eat food. You need to eat food. If you're eating too much food, then you need to tell yourself to not eat as much food. And if you can tell yourself to do, if you can keep yourself on liquids, puree, soft foods, that's all mental. You can tell yourself to stop eating as much food after you have surgery. Before surgery, it's a different thing. Metabolism, blah, 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 blah. Your body works differently. After surgery, if you can convince yourself to do a 5-day pouch test, then really the issue is that you just need to eat less food. It has nothing to do with your pouch stretching out and then you re-shrinking it. I'm sorry, it's nonsense. I hate the 5-day pouch test. I hate all these myths that come around with weight loss surgery, like that you're going to be skinny when really you're probably still going to be plus size, that you can shrink your stomach and blah, 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 that you'll never eat sugar again, you'll never want any of these things again. That's not true. That weight loss surgery works forever. That's not true. You're going to have to do a lot of the work after the first year or two. If you don't change things like portion sizes, exercise, that kind of stuff, you will gain the weight back. They're just that it's the easy way out. Oh, I hate that one. I'm sure you hate that one too. It is not the easy way out. It's easier to lose the weight because of surgery, because the way it is, but surgery in itself is risky. The mental part of it, the emotional part of it, though, it is not easy. That's bullshit too. Anyway, 25 minutes and I'm still ranting about all this nonsense that probably you already know. So, anyways, I can't think of any other rules that I follow that you're supposed to follow. And it's probably because it's such habit now. That is just my life, and I don't think of it in terms of it being different than how normal people live or eat. So, I don't know. If you have any questions, ask me. It could be about gastric bypass. It could be about the revision. It could be about the plastic surgery. It could be about the weight gain and the weight loss that I've had over the past 5 years. Whatever. I will tell you anything. I'm very, very open. I'm not ashamed of anything that I've gone through. So, and I'm not really shy about it. I'm kind of an open book. So, ask me. If you want to know, ask. So I apologize for this video being so long. You probably didn't even watch the whole thing, and I'm probably just rambling now. But, yep, I guess that's it. So ask questions below. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.